everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I do hope you're continuing to stay safe and you are well. So my name's Ivy, and to my returning subscribers, thank you. For those who haven't subscribed yet, well, jump on board, you're more than welcome. My channel here is about health, well-being and everything in between. Health-wise, I have two autoimmune diseases. One is hypothyroidism with Graves' disease, and the other one is myasthenia gravis. So I do talk about these and my progress with them, and if that's something you're interested in, then please, watch those videos. I would really like to make more aware of myasthenia gravis. When I was first diagnosed, I had it was ocular, so just pertaining to the eyes mainly. And then last year it generalised, so it's affecting, can affect the voice, the chewing, swallowing, speaking, eating, smiling, walking, lifting things, so yeah. I would love to share it and get it made more aware of. And I promote positivity on this channel also, and a little bit of everything else. So if that seems like a channel you'd like to subscribe to, then don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button and the icon bell so you'll know when I upload more videos. So this video is my third Netflix choice, and it is Ratched. So if you want to hear what I think, stay tuned and come on back. Just before I start, if you can hear a TV, it's not mine, it's downstairs. So if you can't, great. So let's get into Ratched. So, and if I'm looking down, it's because I've got notes just to help me along, because if I forget something and then once I finish the video, I'm like, ah. So yeah, Ratched. So the synopsis of this, I'll just read it, tells you describes what it's about. So in 1947, Mildred Ratched begins working as a nurse at a leading psychiatric hospital, but beneath her stylish exterior lurks a growing darkness. Sorry, I apologise. So yeah, I first became familiar with the character of Nurse Ratched from the brilliant movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it is a brilliant movie. Yeah, and from there, that's where I knew of the character. So we're not going to go into One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is about Ratched, but seriously, it is a really good film with Jack Nicholson. Well, it's an all-star cast, but Jack Nicholson. So yeah, Nurse Ratched. So what can we say about Nurse Ratched? She's complex. And so if you're not a fan of things that go back, and forth, then maybe not for you. But this does go back in order to tell her story. And so as a young girl, her mother couldn't look after her, so, and her father couldn't, so she was put into care, into foster homes, and along the way she made friends with this other boy, and they became quite close and everything. So because this little boy is important, as you will see as you watch it. So yeah, and they become quite close. So the woman who's in charge of placing them in foster care, and for some reason every time they were placed in foster care it was just horrible. It was worse than the last time. Nothing ever got better for them. So what she thought was she'd put these two sign on the forms that they were brother and sister, but they're actually not. And anyway, the last people they get placed with was just, oh, they make your skin crawl. They were the worst of the worst. They were pornographers, and you know, they dealt in that. They had like this stage downstairs where the kids thought it was like, you know, oh, they were going to see puppet shows, but no, they were the show, and they had them doing terrible things, not just to themselves, but sexually to each other. Anyway, that's that. And of course, this is going to have a knock-on effects, you know, really test them, their mental state and push them over the edge, which this boy then says, I'm going to kill him. And, you know, it's, if you're not a fan of blood and all that, then maybe this isn't for you. Anyway, he ends up like stabbing them in their eyes. And so they're not dead, but, you know, they're in pain. And yeah, he's about to go and finish off the guy, and the guy's a big guy, and he grabs hold of Edmund. So the boy's name is Edmund, and Edmund says to Mildred, run, and Mildred's like, no, I'm not running, I'm not leaving you. And he's like, run now. And she runs away, and it's this guilt that she feels. You know, she feels intense guilt. Even as an adult, she feels this guilt, and she says, you know, to everyone, I will find you. You know, I'll come back for you and I'll find you. And she didn't, you know, because life goes on, but she always has that guilt, and that's why she does what she does, because it's this guilt eating away, and she wants to make right. You know, in her mind, I feel the mistake of running away, which she did the right thing, because, you know, he was put into foster cares and nothing really got better for him. So anyway, as an adult, that's why she wants a job at this hospital, because she goes to work at this psychiatric hospital, and she literally just blazes away in. She lies about everything in order to get this job, because even the guy who runs the hospital, Dr. Hanover, and you will see lots more about Dr. Hanover, but even though, you know, she lies to get that job. And because of her determination to rewrite the past, not rewrite it, but make it better in terms of her brother. So, but technically not her brother, if you get my meaning. So yeah, she eventually gets a job at this psychiatric hospital, and yeah, she moves into this like little motel, that's what it is, it's a motel. And it gave me vibes of, you know, a bit of Psycho, just with the motel there, you know, and the creepy woman like that runs it. Yeah, and it's very stylish. Yeah, it's very stylish. Sarah Paulson is good in the role. Yeah, I think the last thing I saw Sarah Paulson in was that Ocean's 8, where they all the women, Sandra Bullock, Rihanna, you know, Kate Blanchett, and some other ones want to rob the Met Gala thing. Anyway, back to Ratched. So she gets this job in this psychiatric hospital because she knows that her brother is going to be brought there. And if I haven't mentioned this, and this is a very important part, and I apologise for leaving it till now, but the brother does kill 6 priests. Yeah, he murders them. So, you know, if you don't like blood and guts, miss that bit out. Yeah, he does murder 6 priests. Actually, I think it's 5 and 1 lives. Anyway, that's, you know, he's a serial killer, and she knows that he's going to be brought to this psychiatric hospital. So that's why she does her utmost to secure a job there. so that she can keep an eye on him and plan their escape. Yeah, so at the beginning of this, there is one dynamic between Mildred Ratched and her brother, Edmund Tollison. There's one dynamic there, you know, and in the course of things never running smoothly, you know, that dynamic does change. And there's also the head nurse that is already there, played by the wonderful Judy Davis, just because they don't like each other. You know, you can tell that. Judy doesn't like, well, Judy's character is Betsy Buckle. Betsy doesn't like Mildred, Mildred doesn't like Betsy. And I really thought they would take that to a more darker conclusion. That's just me. But, you know, again, that relationship also changes, because there's sometimes when I was watching it where I was thinking, oh, Betsy, stop talking, stop, don't even look in her direction, Betsy. Ooh, something nasty's going to come your way, Betsy. But, you know, what else can I tell you about? Oh yeah, there's like, I was surprised, but in watching it, there was like three actors that kind of like pop up that I wasn't expecting, and I can't find out where I've written his name down, but the first one is the actor that played the English butler in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Remember him? He pops up in it, you know, being all flouncy and everything. And he has memory problems. So that's the reason he goes to this psychiatric hospital. Yeah, and he gets a lobotomy. So if you don't know what a lobotomy is, I looked it up. I'm just going to read it anyway. So a lobotomy is a form of psychosurgery, a neurosurgical treatment of a mental disorder that involves severing connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex. Yeah, so by cutting nerves in the brain, this can eliminate excess emotion and stabilize someone's personality. But there are many people who receive lobotomies seem to lose their ability to feel intense emotions, feeling childlike and less prone to worrying. So I guess he went there to get this procedure done so that he can't remember that he's got memory loss, I think. You do see in the operating theatre a bit of the guy doing the procedure. So again, if you're of a sensitive nature, don't watch. And also the sound effects, because there's some things they're doing. You know, he does another procedure where he kind of like gets this big screwdriver and he's about to, I apologise, but this is, you know, if you watch it, he sort of like gets into a part of the upper eye and got a hammer and boom. But like I say, you don't see him do it, but the sound effects are real. I was like, okay. But yeah, like I say, it's a bit of blood, bit of gore, violence. If you're not okay with that, then watch Bridgerton, watch Good Girls. Yeah, but yeah, I think because she holds all this guilt, because she ran away and left him to face things, some of her decisions weren't the best. And as you'll see as you watch it, she's very manipulative. Oh, she's good at that. As I was saying, there's these three characters that pop up. One is the guy that played the butler in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The second one, don't you know, is Miss Basic Instinct herself. Yes, Miss Sharon Stone. I haven't seen Sharon Stone in anything since Basic Instinct, but yeah, she pops up and she's looking all right, you know. And she plays this wealthy, very wealthy woman who, like I say, you'll get to know much more about Dr. Hanover. And she wants revenge on him for what's happened to her son. And she wants this doctor's head. I mean, literally, she wants his head. So yeah, Miss Sharon Stone is in it, and there's another British actress who's she's superb. She's superb, and I hope I say her surname right. Her name is Sophie Okonedo. I think that's how you say it. Her for me, every time she came on the screen, she stole the show. Her performance was outstanding, and she has multiple personality disorder. Let me tell you, when she goes in, you are glued. She is amazing. She is amazing, and her character. I just thought, oh, her character, would just come in, say that what she's got, and Dr. Hanover would do a treatment on it. But her bit in it does grow, and it's like, okay, but she's amazing in it. So yeah, and I did get, for me, it did remind me of American Horror Story. Not that I've watched loads of them, but I've watched, a few. And because the psychiatric hospital, that's a similar thing. And the basement, anytime anyone says, oh, there's a basement, I'm like, oh, there's a basement. Because basements are never good. But yeah. Yeah, so that's what I got from it, But like I say, it's stylishly made, and Sarah Paulson is good in it. But if I say someone steals the show, it's got to be that Sophie Okonedo, because damn, I enjoyed watching it. It's 8 episodes long. I think 8 episodes is enough. And like I say, the dynamic between Ratched and the brother does change. Things starts to change. And also, I will say there's a couple of women in there as well who come in because they're lesbians, and of course at that time, that wasn't tolerated, and they come in for treatments. And there is a treatment that the younger of the women has done, which is quite brutal, where they put her in a bath. The water is pleasant when they put her in, and then those types of baths where they can lock you in. And so they lock her in, and then there's like a temperature gauge behind the bath, and Nurse Betsy turns it up, and and it gets quite hot, and like I say, it's not pleasant to watch. And then if that wasn't enough, they leave her in that for like 15-20 minutes, and if that wasn't enough, then poor woman's just like out of it. They then put her into a freezing cold ice bath and say leave her there for 5 minutes. So by the time they bring this woman back to the bed, she's just about done. She's, you know what I mean? But that's the kind of treatment that they did. Well, I don't know if they did it in reality. Well, I think they did, but you know what I mean. But yeah. So there's that, and also there's the fact that Mildred, she has feelings for women. She likes women. So she tries to deny that. And you'll see that with because the mayor's assistant is a lesbian, and then, she thinks that she sees something that would make her think that Mildred is, that way herself. And Mildred's like, oh, no, oh, no, that's not me, you've got it wrong. But she was hiding that. So, you see how that relationship develops. And quite frankly, you see a really nice side of Mildred. You do, even though she's done some horrible things. You do see a nice side to her. She helps these 2 lesbian women, and I was like, oh, okay, so she does have a nice side. It's just that with all this guilt that she has for what happened, for leaving her brother, it's made her make some really suspect decisions that are downright wrong, you know. So, and she does get into, I don't know, this weird thing with a guy that lives in a shallow near her, and that didn't end well for him. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. Like I say, I knew the character of Mildred Ratched from this film. The way it ends, I would say that there's a possibility for a season 2. Yeah, but like I say, if you're of a sensitive disposition, then don't be watching this. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was okay. Have I got anything else that I wanted to say? No, I think that's it. Yeah. Like I say, with Dr. Hanover, you will get to see his backstory and everything to do with him. So yeah, that's my Netflix review, Ratched. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please subscribe, press the icon button, like, share, comment. You know what to do. And yeah, I'll see you for another Netflix review. In the meantime, continue to stay safe and stay well and be good to yourself. Let's keep smashing this life. And I'll see you soon.